and welcome hardworking aspirants to the class of post-Mauryan period, and this is part 2. We have already done the part 1 where we have studied about all the important informations there. Today we'll be talking about the Parthians, the Sakas or the Scythians, also about the Hughes and the Bactrian kingdom. So if you can see this map, you'll see a place written name as Arakosia, and if you remember, this was granted to Chandragupta Maurya by Seleucus Nicator. So what has happened after the fall of Seleucid Empire? We will see that the Bactrians there are forced by the Parthians and the Scythians and the Yuji tribe to turn towards this northwestern Indian part. Okay, and so they will be coming towards this northwestern Indian part, and there they will be having Tarsila as their capital. Okay, so we'll see all those part, and we'll also see discover it in the maps. If you can see here you're seeing the Bactrian kingdom. Okay, they were also having the capital in Bactria, as well as they were having the capital in Tarsila here too. And this all has happened, guys, after the fall of Seleucid Empire, this very Seleucid Empire, which was there because after the Alexander the Great's invasion, and when he went back, he appointed few of his governors back then, and one of them was Seleucus Nicator I. So we'll be seeing that, and along with that we'll be seeing the other kingdoms also. But let's get started now with this information for you for the mentorship program for UPSC, TSPSC or APPSC. If you want one-on-one live mentorship by Deepika ma'am, who's having 20 plus years of experience and who has trained almost 1000 plus aspirants, this is the opportunity for you guys. Call on the numbers given below. And with that, we also have the batches for TSPSC Group 1, TSPSC Group 2, as well as for the UPSC CSC 26-27. We right now have 50% discount also for you, so you can call on the numbers given below and inquire for more. So let's get started. So as I said you already, that because there was the pressure of Parthians, Scythians and the Uzis, the Bactrians will turn towards the northwestern part of India, and here they will make Tarsila as one of their capitals. If you see that Demetrius I, he was the one who will establish this Indo-Greek kingdom. Okay, and he will invade the parts of northwestern India around 200 BC. Okay, following the decline of the Mauryan Empire, obviously. And these Indian Greeks were also called Yavanas. That is something which you must remember. And their rule was in the present day Afghanistan, Pakistan and northwest India, and their capital, please note that down also, Bactria, Tarsila and Sakala, that is the Sialkot today. And the notable Indian Greek rulers were Demetrius I and Menander I, that is the Milinda. Milinda is very famous because there is a book known as Milinda Pano, and a quick info for it, it is basically the Milinda Pano means the questions of Milind or Menander. Okay, and he had this conversation with Nagasena. Who was Nagasena? Nagasena, a very famous Buddhist monk. Okay, so the questions answered by Nagasena, or you can say the whole conversation, is found in Milinda Pano. And what were these questions? These questions were about the rebirth, about transmigration, about life and its meaning. And Milinda Panu, or rather we can say Milind or Menander, was so impressed by Nagasena that he converted into Buddhism, but he continued to rule. It is not that he completely took non-violence or something like that, but this is something of importance asked in the exam, so you should know. So they extend the influence for as Mathura and possibly attempted to reach Patliputra, though evidence from Greek control of Patliputra is lacking. Okay, it is said that the Indian leaders, the Indian regional leaders after the Mauryan Empire stopped them. Indo-Greek invasions marked the first major foreign incursion into India after Alexander, introducing Hellenistic culture, art and coinage system. This here you can see, this is not completely Indian art, rather an Hellenistic art. This rule faced resistance from Indian dynasties like the Sungas and the Kharvela of Kalinga, who reportedly repelled Indo-Greek advances and restored local control in some region. It is also said for Pushyamitra Shunga that he, while Demetrius I invaded Patliputra, he defeated him and sent him back. That is something which you should remember. So let's start with Sakas. We are going to see all of this in detail in separate videos. Also, we'll have the separate video for the Sakas, for the Kusanas, okay, and for the Huji tribe. So don't worry about that. It is just an overview of the post-Mauryan period. Sakas or the Scythians, that is from the 1st century BC to the 4th century CE. The Sakas, also known as Indo-Scythians, were nomadic Iranian people of Scythian ancestry. Right now, when we were having this Iran-Israel war, there it was talked about. This history was in the notice that we have a very backstory with Iran, and this is what you can see here. They migrated from Central Asia into northern and western India from the mid-century BC to the 4th century CE. Their movement into India was triggered by pressure from other Central Asian tribes, especially the UG tribe and the conflicts with Parthians. This is something is worth notice. And there is one more interesting point, guys, because there will be this wall of China will be built, okay. Because of the wall of China, this UG tribe, which was supposed to attack the Chinese territory, will now push the Scythians and the Parthians, and they will push the Bactrians, and because of that, Bactrians will come to the northwestern part of India. So the wall of China is also a reason that you must remember. So the Sakas established 5 major branches in India. One branch will be Afghanistan. Notable rulers will be Vanons and Spelirius. Then Punjab, the capital will be Tarsila. Ruler will be Moz or Moga. Then your Mathura ruled for about 2 centuries. The ruler will be Adilises. The Western India, notable for Western satraps, Rudradaman I, very famous. You get questions also from him. And the Upper Deccan region. Okay. The major rulers and dynasties. Maus, the first Saka king in India, established power in Gandhara and the Indus Valley. That is the 1st century BC. Then you have Chastana. His accession marks the beginning of the Saka era. Yes, Saka calendar is there. You must know 78 common era. That is what it is. Rudradaman I, the most famous Saka ruler known for his administration, and the question related to him get asked in the Junagadh inscription. The Sakas ruled as the satrapas, forming the northern and western steppes. Okay, now let's see. Rudradaman I, who reigned from 130 to 150 common era. Rudradaman, the most celebrated king of the western satraps or the Sakas, with his capital at Ujjain. His empire covered Gujarat, parts of Maharashtra, Malwa, Saurashtra, and extended influence across western and central India. You can see his peak over here, and here you can see also the information. One more quick info for all of you. While the Mauryan period or while the Mahajanpadas period, we have seen that there were punch marked coins back then, okay. But there is one problem with the punch marked coins, that it cannot be said that basically by which Janpada or basically by which ruler that punch marked coin was issued. But when we see this Indo-Greek period, there is about 34 rulers they are talked about, and all of them can be known through these coins only. There is no other source like any literary source or archaeological source or any other source, but mostly we have come to know about through these coins, because they have very clearly the indications are given that which rulers have issued them. Okay, let's see the administration part back then. So the military achievements, the administration, economy, what were there. So Rudradaman I is renowned for his decisive victories over the Satavahanas, especially defeating Satakarni II, not the Satakarni I, rather Satakarni II, and regaining territories previously which was lost to Gautami Putra Satakarni. Rudradaman is also subdued the Yodhyas or a powerful warrior tribe, further consolidating his dominance. His military campaigns restored and expanded the western satrapas' power after earlier setbacks. Then administration and economy. Rudradaman's administration was marked by stability, efficient governance, economic prosperity largely due to promotion of trade and commerce, and he initiated major infrastructure projects, notably the restoration of the Sudarsana Lake. Okay, it's a restoration. Please don't get it as it was built. And in the comments, please tell me who built this Sudarsana Lake. Okay. Gupta. I'm just giving you one hint. Cultural and literal contribution. Rudradaman was a patron of Sanskrit literature and arts, making Sanskrit the court language and commissioning the famous Junagadh rock inscription. This is also the earliest significant Sanskrit inscription in India that you should know. And his court hosted scholars like Yavana Swara, who translated Greek astrological text into Sanskrit, reflecting cultural systems of back then, and also his love towards Sanskrit. He practiced religious tolerance, supporting Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, and contributed to the construction of temples and stupas. So a bit more info about the Junagadh inscription, because it is asked again and again. So the location is near Girnar Hill, Junagadh, Gujarat. The date you see somewhere around 150 Common Era. Language is in Sanskrit. Author was the Western Satrapa, that is Rudradaman I. Main content is the restoration of Sudarsana Lake Dam and eulogy. Other inscription, Asokas and Skandagupta is also written there. Historical significance: oldest long Sanskrit inscription records public works. Ancient record keeping tradition was this way. Now let's talk about the another foreign invasions, or the Parthians. Again, I'll repeat it. We are going to do it in detail. It's just an overview right now that we are seeing. The Parthians, also called the Palwas, were an Indo-Iranian people who established the Parthian or the Arsacid Empire, which spanned from 247 BC to 224 CE. Their empire covered a vast region from Mediterranean into India and China, with its heartland in modern day Iran. The dynasty was founded by Arsaces I after breaking away from Seleucid control. They are known in Indian sources as Pahlawas and are mentioned in ancient Indian texts and inscriptions. Okay, so the map that you see here, you see Indo-Parthian kingdom at this place, the northwestern side that you can see, and here also it is very easily visible to you. Okay, now let's see the very famous ruler back then. So it was Gondophares I, ruled from 19 to 46 CE, and was the founder and most prominent king of the Indo-Parthian kingdom. His capital was the ancient city of Tassila. He established his rule after declaring independence from the Parthian Empire, consolidating power in regions including the Sakastan, the Arcosia, Gandhara, Punjab, and Sindh. Gondophares is associated with the construction and patronage of Buddhist sites, mostly notably the Takht Bahi Monastery, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site there. Okay. Now let's see about the Kushan dynasty, that is from 1st century CE to 3rd century CE. The Kushans were originally one of 5 branches of the Yuezhi, a nomadic Indo-European people from Central Asia, specifically the region near northwestern China. Kujula Cadphises or Cadphis I unified the Yuezhi tribes and founded the Kushan Empire in the early 1st century CE, first establishing control over Bactria, that is the northern Afghanistan, then expanding into northwest India, Kabul and Kandahar. Most capitals included Purusapura, that is the modern Peshawar, and Mathura. So that is of the Kushana dynasty. Major rulers who were there, we have Kujala Cadphises, Bhima Cadphises, and Kanishka the Great. Founder expanded into Afghanistan and northwest India, followed Saivism and Cadphises. Then Bhima Cadphises introduced gold coins in India, which became a hallmark of their economy, and was a devotee of Shiva. And then Kanishka the Great, the most famous ruler, known for his patronage of Buddhism, military conquest, and cultural achievements. Okay, administration and culture. When we talk about the Kushana, adopted the title Devaputra, or the son of God, inspired by Chinese traditions. Their rule was marked by religious tolerance, supporting Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zoroastrianism also. Back then, if you remember, Zoroastrians have come to take refuge in India. They played a key role in spreading Buddhism to Central Asia and China, and their era is sometimes called Pax Kushana. That means for its peace and prosperity. Art, economy, and trade. Back then, the Kushanas were major patrons of Gandhara art, which blended Greek, Persian, and Indian style. They facilitated trade along the Silk Road, connecting the Indian Ocean with Central Asia and China, and issued gold coins reflecting economic prosperity and Roman trade links. Urban centers and mercantile activity flourished under their reign. Gandhara art, key features and significance. Let's see them. This is also a topic which gives you question again and again in the examinations. Greco-Roman influence. Gandhara art is renowned for its blend of Indian and Greco-Roman style, visible in realistic human figure, wavy hair, draped garments like Roman togas and motifs such as vine scrolls, cherubs and centaurs. So if you see here, you can see this here, you can see at the back there is this halo made, then this robe in draped style, you can see it looks like that he's wearing a cloth or something. The materials that were used was the green phyllite, the grey blue seeds and later stucco, allowing for fine detailing and smooth finishes. And naturalism is something that we see here. Figures, especially Buddha and Bodhisattvas, are depicted with naturalistic anatomy, expressive faces and intricate drapery reflecting a high degree of realism. If you see, it will look mostly 80 to 90% as a real human being is standing there. Distinctive features is the iconography, that is the Buddha is often shown with the halo, wavy hair and an Apollo like youthful face, dressed in Greco-Roman style garments. Basically what was actually, Buddha was someone who was a monk who used to travel for long distances, and they had control over what they are eating because they used to ask for it. Bhiksha was used there. So he must not have looked like a very as emperor or a superhuman kind, but then they have depicted him in such a way. Themes dominated by Buddhist subjects, scenes from Buddha's life, Jataka tales and Bodhisattva, but also include secular and Hellenistic themes like Greek gods and royal portraits. So basically what they have tried to do, Greek gods are basically represented like them. That's how they have represented Buddha also. Culture and influence, they were also known as Yavanas in Indian sources. Many Indo-Greek kings converted to Buddhism and supported Sprout, contributing to the flourishing of Buddhist art and architecture, especially the Gandhara school. Their coins featuring bilingual inscriptions and images of Greek and Indian deities are a major source of historical information. Okay guys, so that is what we have come to know. And we'll also see the Silk Road during the Kushan period, the Kushan control and influence and the trade and economic impact. The Kushan Empire controlled major stretch on the Silk Road through Central Asia, Northeast India and Afghanistan and parts of modern Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Their strategic location allowed them to act as key middlemen between the Roman Empire, Parthia, India and China. And the Kushan ensured the safety of traders and the smooth flow of goods such as silk, spices, precious stones, metal horses, glassware and wine. They developed conversaries and trade hubs, introduced gold coins and regulated trade, which contributed significantly to their economic prosperities. Okay, the Silk Road during the Kushan period, that you can see here. If this is what now China is trying to once again get back into the track. Okay, so this is the Silk Route under the Kushans, was not just a trade route but also a channel for cultural and religious exchange, most notably the spread of Buddhism, which flourished under their patronage. The Kushan period saw the blending of Greco-Roman, Persian, Indian and Central Asian artistic and cultural influence together. Let's see some of the questions, and guys, we are going to see all these topics in detail, so don't worry about it. Which one of the following kingdoms was associated with the origin of Gandhara school of art? Very simple. What's the correct answer? The correct answer is Kushan. The Gandhara school flourished under the Kushans, especially Kanishka, blending Greco-Roman and Indian styles. With reference to the religious history of medieval India, the Sufi mystics were known to pursue which of the following practices? Meditation and control of breath, severe ascetic exercises, recitation of holy songs to arouse a state of ecstasy in their audience. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so all three of them are correct here. Let's see the next question. Which one of the following foreign rulers was the first to issue gold coins in India? Which was the first to issue gold coins in India? Well, it is Kushans, especially Vima cadfices were the first to issue gold coins in India, which facilitated trade on the Silk Road. Which of the following rulers controlled the Silk Route in ancient India? Who was the one? Mauryas, Guptas, Kushnas or Satavahanas? Again, the correct answer here is Kushanas. So you can see Kushanas have been asked again and again in the questions. The Indo-Greeks were the first to issue coins, which can be definitely attributed to the kings. The Indo-Greek coins were predominantly made of gold. What is the correct answer? Well, Indo-Greeks were the first to issue coins with the names and portrait, but the coins were mainly silver, not gold. There were gold coins, but not all of them were gold. Okay. So with this we have come to the end, but it can be the beginning for you if you are preparing for UPSC, TSPSC or APPSC, guys. This is the opportunity for you, one-on-one live mentorship with Deepika ma'am, who has more than 1,000 of students under her guidance, and hundreds of them has been placed as administrative officers. You can call on the numbers given below. And guys, if you liked it, please like and share with your friends, and comment for the next topics, and subscribe so that we meet again. Thank you so much.